Believe. You gotta believe. No, nobody in this world.
No regrets. We're gonna leave everything that we have out there. Everything you have.
No matter what you do, no matter who you are, if you want to be great, you look for peers to measure yourself against. To be great, you never stop pushing yourself. You never stop pushing your rivals. And you never, ever want to let go of the sensation that emerges when you achieve all you're capable of.
Everybody in here tight, let's go.
Hey, we gotta do something now. Some stealing great knives now. Come on. We'll fight it out. Every single one of you. And we're gonna leave every single thing on this field. We take the fight to them. We take the fight to them. Hey, get it in your eyes now. It starts up front. It all starts and it all ends with us. We're the best team in this league. And tonight, we show the world why.
Here we go. The pass.
Intercepted by one. Into the end zone for the pick six.
He is unbelievable. Trying to strike right away.
Oh, the big man bulldozes in.
Foster taken off to the end zone. Hit by incredible tackle.
He's going to go the distance.
What a catch.
Oh, what a throw.
Batted down. J.J. Watt's specialty.
Wide open touchdown. J.J.
Is there anything number 99 can't do?
True greatness is only revealed in the face of true tests. And that's what makes competition on the biggest stages so compelling.
Yes, your football week starts right here. Who is going to step up tonight and change the path of their season? Colts or Texans? Just listen to the Texans linebacker, Brian Cushing.
Hey, you play your whole damn life for nights like this. All eyes on us. All eyes on us. Dominate on three. 1, 2, 3.
Pretty serious headbutt in the warm-ups, man. You don't want to be called out on concussion protocol before you even kick the football, but Cushing and the Texans ready to go.
Yeah, no question. They are fired up down here for a lot of reasons. They hate the way they started this year at home against a beat-up team in the Indianapolis Colts and a backup that's not feeling well.
Indianapolis deferring, kicking away to Houston. So here is Ryan Mallett. It's only his 6th career start in his 5th year out of Arkansas, traded to the Texans by way of New England last season.
Well, I think, Jim, when you talk about Ryan Mallett, they know he has the talent. We talked about in the opening, he could throw it down the field. They would like to see him take some of those short passes and have 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 5 instead of always taking that big shot down the field.
They brought in Kendall Lamb. He's eligible as a receiver on the right side of that line. Can Arian Foster, who was extremely rusty in his return Sunday at Atlanta, can he get it going tonight? Here he goes with his typical cutback move and a nice little drive starter with a gain of 5. What is it you see? Mallett's numbers, he's only a 52% passer on the season. He's had opportunities, games where he's thrown it a lot, but not with tremendous accuracy.
Well, that's right. It's hard to be accurate when you're throwing, you know, many passes, 20 yards plus down the field. But here's what we're going to see tonight is this.
Foster. And Foster got a nice block on that left side, and then he is pushed out by Dwight Lowery, and he's within a yard or 2 of the first. That was Brandon Brooks who threw the block, gain of 3. You know, Mallett comes in after the first game. Hoyer had started the opener. Here are the quarterback numbers for the Texans. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions for Mallett, 3 and 1 for Hoyer, who led the Texans in the 4th quarter last Sunday. They were down 42-0. He led them on 3 touchdown drives at the end of that game, including a couple of touchdown passes. 3rd and 2, and again they go Foster. He's able to stay balanced and pick up the first.
Well, a couple things when you look at this Houston offense, it's apparent. We said it, they want to run the football. I think one of the strengths really on the offensive side, no question, is offensive line. And you said it, Arian Foster, mad, embarrassed about his play against the Atlanta Falcons.
And he breaks one on 1st down, and finally stopped at about the 38. He already has more yards rushing than he had last Sunday. He had 8 carries for 10 yards last Sunday, and now he's got a gain of 18 total at the start of this game.
Good push on the right side of the offensive line. Ben Jones, a very capable center, seals it off. And that's what you want to do. You want to run the ball against the Colts. Why? Because when you get in obvious passing situations, the blitz will come.
Here comes Mallett trying to get out of trouble. And he dives down near the line of scrimmage. They had Alfred Blue in at running back, giving Foster the down off. That will go down as a sack for the Colts defense as Mallett picks up no gain.
You know, Jim, when you talk about this Texans team, Bill O'Brien, what was the one thing he said to us that really disappoints him? He goes, my gosh, a game of adversity, and anything that goes wrong with our team, we just fall apart. And listen, in this game, no matter how good you are, there's going to be rough spots you got to overcome.
3rd and 3, and Mallett across the middle connects with Foster for the first down. So Foster's now converted a couple of 3rd downs. That one goes for a pickup of 7.
Across the middle, Arian Foster on the linebacker. That's what you want to do. Spread the football out or the formation out. You said it. When you look at this receiving core tonight, DeAndre Hopkins and 3 rookies. So that's just another reason why the Colts want to get in obvious passing situations. They think they can cover these guys one-on-one. And then Greg McNusky, defensive coordinator, wants to blitz this Houston offense.
They've got Toller on Hopkins at the bottom, but they're going to run it here with Blue, who was the starter for the first 3 games of the season and had 139 yards on the ground in the Texans' 1 win this year here at home against Tampa Bay.
Well, here we are in Texas. Great stadium. I noticed you got your cowboy boots on there too. They look pretty good on you. I like that. Never seen that look, but if you're not worried about the other team's wide receivers, crowd the line of scrimmage on defense. That's what they're going to do now, and dare you to throw the football.
2nd and 6, play action, and Mallett sets it up and throws it on the mark for Hopkins, and another Texans first down. This Mallett, he can fire it with some serious zip.
Oh, absolutely. Here we go. So they crowded the line of scrimmage that time. 1 safety back. Here's Hopkins on the corner. And Ryan Mallett, he's not wide open, but you don't have to get wide open when you have an arm like his. He puts it right on the money.
Picks up 10. Back to Blue they go. And only 1 picked up that time as DeQuell Jackson, the former Cleveland Brown linebacker, comes up to make the tackle. He made 17 tackles last Sunday, did Jackson in the win against Jacksonville in overtime.
Yeah, there's another guy up front there. You know, a lot of conversation this offseason about this defense. Did they do enough to help it? We saw that time David Perry, rookie from Stanford, number 54. Kind of reminds me of an old teammate of mine, Jim Burt. Not that tall, but you can't move him with a dump truck.
They've got 2 rookie wideouts in right now, Strong and Worthy. And they go to the most reliable guy, of course, DeAndre Hopkins, who already has over 400 yards in receiving through the first 4 weeks of the season, has a pickup of 7 this time.
Well, inside, what do you do with your best receiver? If you're worried about the other guys, you put your best receiver inside to give him more options. You saw him that time against Greg Toller, very good corner, seeing his first action after being hurt so far this year.
Here's Foster shifting to the backfield, 3rd and 2. Can they convert again? Foster has on the first 2 3rd down occasions. And now out of the gun. It's back to Foster, and another conversion by Arian to the Indianapolis 24, brought down by Mike Adams after 9.
Look, this defense, here we go, inside, going across. Again, Arian Foster, almost the same play we saw the first time. That was a safety, Adams, on the coverage, not close enough and not tight enough.
Very impressive start to this game by the Texans. Now on first down, it's Blue. Takes it inside the 20. Chuck Pagano has to be concerned with this Houston team and this offense, which has struggled mightily getting some confidence here on the opening series. The Houston team, again, that has been slow to start and has trailed at halftime of the first 4 games of the year.
You know what I see here, Chuck Pagano, I'll watch him the defense, but how about the confidence of Ryan Mallett? Different looking quarterback than the guy we saw last week against Atlanta.
Here's the short drop, and the pass is out of bounds and over the head of Mumphrey. Keith Mumphrey And the rookie taken in the 5th round. And again, one of 3 rookie wideouts we're going to see tonight, with Nate Washington out because of a hamstring, and Cecil Shorts the third dislocating a shoulder in Atlanta on the last play of the game Sunday.
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to second guess him. I'm not going to do that. But there it was, a high-risk throw, not that easy to hit. And he had a guy out short, and if he tackles the receiver guy, it was worthy. If he got tackled, it'd be 3rd and 1. Instead, he took the shot for the touchdown.
14th play of this opening drive, and it's 3rd and 5. And pass goes through the hands of Foster, and it's intercepted. And running it back is Mike Adams down the sideline and tossed out of bounds by Derek Newton. It went right off the hands of Foster. Should have had it for the first down.
Should have had it, and he did not throw it too hard. That was right on the money.
38-yard return. Adams' 2nd pick of the year. These two teams came in with the worst 2 turnover differentials in the NFL. And after 6.5 minutes on that opening drive, Houston turns it over. Addressing some blood on the right knee of Foster, who saw that ball bounce off his hand. Should have been caught. Here's the first snap for the Colts, and it's a handoff to Frank Gore, and Gore has big yardage past Jonathan Joseph, and finally out of bounds near the Houston 35. So Gore breaks a good one here for 20.
Well, Jim, they had everything they want. You could see the game plan. Let's get rid of the football, make it easier on our quarterback. They've thrown a couple passes underneath. That ball, yeah, okay, it wasn't exactly perfect, but an easy catch for Arian Foster. And, you know, something as a quarterback you got to overcome. It's not your fault. You got to go out there and do the same thing again next time when you get out there if you're Ryan Mallett.
The Colts have Dwayne Allen back in the lineup after missing 2 games with an ankle sprain, and they run it for another 2 yards for Gore. And again, Matt Hasselbeck, he turned 40 on September the 25th. And it's just been a brutal week for him. He went to the hospital after the win against Jacksonville Sunday, was in there till about 2 in the morning, and there have been more visits. He missed the walkthrough on Monday, missed the practice on Tuesday, was around, but you know, Wednesday's a limited day. So trying to catch up on a short week, 40-year-old body, tough assignment.
Sometimes when you're not feeling well as an athlete, we've seen there's many good examples of it, that you just zone everything out, you concentrate on your job, and you end up doing it very well.
They empty it out. They have Josh Robinson in as the slot receiver, and the completion for a short gain. And that was Cushing with the collision of Kobe Fleener, and it's a gain of about 4. You might be wondering how many quarterbacks over the age of 40 have started and won in the history of the league. 11. And the oldest of all time to win a game as a starter, Vinny Testaverde, here on December 2nd, 2007. Leading Carolina to a win against the 49ers. He was 44 years old in 19 days.
Well, I never won a game when I was over 40, but I felt like I was over 40 when I was playing a lot of times.
Here's a 3rd and 4. Hasselbeck on the rollout. Flings it down the field. We got a flag in there. That was intended for T.Y. Hilton.
Double move.
Illegal contact, defense number 24. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Called on Jonathan Joseph.
When you have speed at wide receiver, you got to go for the first move. Watch T.Y. Hilton, nice fake, turns up the field, and Jonathan Joseph absolutely makes illegal contact down the field.
You remember here last year in the opening quarter, T.Y. went over 100 yards. He had a monster game here, and what ended up with Indianapolis leading one play into the second quarter, 24-0. Houston rallied and had a possession to drive down and win the game, only to come up short. But Hilton, 223 yards on 9 catches on this field last year and a touchdown. And Chuck Pagano has now been out with just getting word that they called off the penalty after they'd already announced it. Let's bring in Mike Carey. Mike, that was a sudden change.
Yeah, it happens every once in a while. You get different sets of eyes. They talk about it. They decided there wasn't enough for a foul on that play.
48-yard field goal by Vinatieri. And Adam Vinatieri knocks it through.
My eyes are good. That was illegal contact down the field.
Take another look at it as we go to break here. They pick up the flag in the end on Joseph. So McAfee to kick. This is his 100th career game. And he's going to get another touchback. He opened the game with one. His 500th kickoff of his career, earning his 250th touchback. Some numbers right on some symmetry. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, every highlight, right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now at cbssports.com/mobile. And so the Texans from the 20. And that's the 6th time in 6 first down situations they've run the football tonight. And Mike Carey, Hasselbeck was out of the pocket here. That had something to do with the call being overturned.
Yes, it does. Illegal contact. The defender cannot initiate contact past 5 yards, but if the quarterback is out of the pocket, that is negated.
Right call then.
Correct call.
And I hate being wrong.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, a lot. That's all right.
2nd and 11. We got another flag out as Foster is tripped up after only 1. And it's going against the Texans. Arian Foster, he had this groin injury that was suffered on August the 3rd during the first full padded practice of the year, and he had to undergo surgery, missed the first 3 games. And
Illegal shift, offense, number 10 never got set. Penalties decline, 3rd down.
And of course, he's the Texans' all-time rusher. And look at some of the injuries, though, he's had to fight through. Going back to 2011, a hamstring and that herniated disc in 13. Missed a game last year with a hamstring, and then a couple of more with a pulled groin, and this groin injury set him down the first 3.
Running backs, like anybody else, you need game action to get sharp. Last week, they thought that might be enough to make him sharp in this game tonight.
There's the pass play, and it's another completion. It goes to Hopkins. And a gain of 14 for the Texans.
I expected to see number 21 on DeAndre Hopkins. And look at the quick outbreak again. Ryan Mallett, I'm not going to say it every time he throws the ball tonight, but man, can he stripe it. That's just the word for it. And right now, his ball, the speed of how he's throwing it is really perfect. His tendency, of course, when you have a big arm, like when you can hit a driver 350 yards, you want to let it go. Tonight, controlling the speed very well so far.
First down run, reversing field. Foster pays for it this time, as Jonathan Newsom, is able to drag him down a loss of 4.
And here's what they want to see from this quarterback. Here's why he's in there. We've seen the big arm already, but they want to see more of this. This is what the NFL is, Jim. You know it. It's the 10 and under yard throws. You got to control them with tremendous accuracy, and you can't overthrow them too hard because it gets on the receiver too quick. But excellent first drive. His confidence should be high.
He's hit Hopkins now 3 times for 31 yards, and now a little screen pass to Foster, and the Colts are all over it. And back-to-back plays, they make tackles for loss.
Well, listen, Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator for the Colts, I kind of said this, but I'm going to emphasize it one more time. He wants to pressure the quarterback. That means blitz. So if he can crowd the line of scrimmage, Jim, not worried about all those receivers out there except DeAndre Hopkins, it should be hard to run the football, and you can get this Houston offense in situations like this, 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd and 19. They lost 4 running it with Foster, lost 5 on the pass play to him, and this is Polk, as they don't try to do anything too aggressively on 3rd and 19, and the crowd's not happy about the call.
Well, that was a good call. What else are you going to do on 3rd and 19? Screen, draw. The Texans want to look at it like this. They believe in their defense. If it ends in a kick, a punt, a kickoff, extra point, or field goal, those are all good things. That means at least you didn't turn it over.
And that's Leckler, longtime great punter in this league, to Whalen. And a flag is down as Whalen trying to get around that edge, but runs out of room. John Weeks, the long snapper, was the one who shoved him out. Whalen with a little visit there to his old college teammate, Andrew Luck.
Number 30 of the kicking team went out of bounds on his own on the punt. Player out of bounds on a punt. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the play. First down, timeout.
Called against Kevin Johnson, their first-round pick of the Texans out of Wake Forest. Second possession of the game coming up for the Colts. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Pizza Hut. Bring home the flavor with the Twisted Crust Pizza, and by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football. The Saturn V moon rocket down at the J. Johnson Space Center, used during the NASA's Apollo and Skylab programs. And here's a running play with Gore. And again, he's going to rip off a good run here, taking a Texan with him. Running it out for 11. He had Raheem Moore on his back, but that's now a 20-yard run and an 11-yard run by Gore.
Dwayne Allen, number 83, the blocking tight end, good catcher too, leads the way. And you talk about running against this Texans defense, you really want to run it at J.J. Watt and not away from him.
Up the middle they go, and Gore this time is wrestled down by McKinney. Down on the Houston sideline, there is Cal to our right, Cal and Bob McNair. The McNairs bringing football back to the city of Houston back in '02. Rick Smith, their general manager. And a second down and 6. They swing it over to Moncrief. And with a flag out, might be a face mask call here against Houston.
Well, Houston making mistakes, penalties, a couple of them here. Missing the pass, causing an interception.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Defense number 25. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Kareem Jackson called for the face mask.
Well, let's see, Matt Hasselbeck throwing these screens. You don't have time to grip the laces, still gets it out there quick. This is the hallmark of what he was. And people forget, Jim, for years under Mike Homer and up in Seattle, Matt Hasselbeck was throwing up numbers and victories and played exceptionally well the quarterback position because they didn't win a Super Bowl. He just never got the credit he really deserved.
Well, he took him to the Super Bowl, only to lose to Bill Cowher's Pittsburgh Steelers. Won an NFC title, did Hasselbeck.
Played well, too, in that Super Bowl.
And here's the pass on the mark to Andre Johnson inside the 10. And Johnson, who had gone catchless the last 2 weeks, gets a catch here in the opening quarter, coming back home to Houston. Gain of 23.
Top of the screen, number 81. You know he loves this. Not catching a lot of football so far, but here he is in the offense. You see what they're doing, running the football, and that's the second time we saw a screen, and we've seen 2 times where Matt Hasselbeck ran out of the pocket. Why? To make sure J.J. Watt doesn't get a beat on the quarterback.
They've got Gore lined up to the far right side with Johnson right behind him. First and goal. And running out to the left side, Hasselbeck to the end zone, going for Doyle, incomplete.
Pretty amazing, though, when you look at this Colts team and this offense. Can you imagine in the NFL having practice all week long? Well, let's have practice. Oh, but we don't have a quarterback. J.J. Watt trying to chase him from behind. That's why they're moving the pocket. But Pep Hamilton, you got to give him a lot of credit. What they've done out here and what they put together this week. I know he's a 17-year veteran quarterback, but still tough to do all this with no practice time.
Now they've got Gore lined up behind him. Gore with 4 carries for 37 yards. Second and goal. They fake to Gore, across the middle, back to the end zone. Andre Johnson comes back to Houston and finds the end zone.
Formations, different looks, running the football, moving the pocket. They got it all working, and this is what they envision this offense. Matt Hasselbeck told me, here comes Andre Johnson. You can't see him from the left, comes to the back of the end zone. Everybody bites on the play fake. Why? Because they can't stop the run so far. He said, Phil, we have every imaginable play there is in our playbook, and we saw it here.
Well, this is all, though, about Johnson coming back here, and the emotion of him returning to Houston did not leave with everybody happy here. The Texans released him back in March. He made that point very clear talking to the media this week. He had 64 touchdowns as a Texan. His 65th career one has to be one of the most satisfying.
As you said, the best player in their history.
Monday on CBS, the only thing smarter than a genius is a team of them. An all-new Scorpion Monday at 9, 8 Central. Only CBS. So Andre Johnson, 2 catches on that drive, including the touchdown. And how big is that for Andre to come back here and score after over 1,000 catches in his career as a Texan?
It's big. It really is, Jim. He's at the bottom of the screen. Down here, number 81, you watch the fake. Watch the linebackers all come up on the fake. And Kareem Jackson, he's expecting a little help inside, but the run fake gets him done. I saw Andre Johnson on the field before the game. First off, he is one big dude when you see him in person. And he was in great spirits, looking forward to this challenge.
Mallett throws on first down complete, and that's to the rookie Mumphrey for a gain of 8. Yeah, the circumstances. Andre Johnson, basically, there was the discussion at the end of last season that his role would be reduced if he stayed with Houston, and he talked about wanting to be released or traded. Ultimately, the Texans did release him. He took out a full-page ad here in the Houston paper to thank the fans after that all transpired. Blue picks up the first down for the Texans with that carry. But he's the 8th all-time leader in receptions in the history of the league. Here's that ad he took out in the Houston Chronicle, thanking the organization, Bob McNair and his teammates in this city for 12 years of support.
No exaggeration. I think there was many years where you said, okay, who's the best wide receiver in the NFL? I mean, if you didn't say Andre Johnson, he would have been the second guy you would have mentioned. He was, of course, terrific down here for many years, as you said.
First and 10, that's a handoff to Blue. Hall of Fame career?
Absolutely. I mean,
I would think so.
Yes, I would think so too. And he's not done. You know, and now that he's at Indianapolis, they're going to create a new role for him. I think they're going to start moving him around more, give him more chances to catch the football, and we've already seen once he catches it, he can do something with it.
10-0. Indianapolis after 1. We'll return after these messages. You're watching Thursday Night Football. Well, that darkened little circle to the right is the famed historic Astrodome, which opened back in 1965 and was one of the wonders of the world, and the host of so many big events. Ali fights, the game of the century, UCLA and the University of Houston. 2nd and 7. And that is Blue. We're seeing a lot of Blue now, not Foster in the backfield. That's a pickup of 6. Let's go to Tracy.
Thanks a lot, Jim. The Texans' offensive line right now without 2 starters. Left guard Oday Abouche. They're looking at his left foot. And Derek Newton, their right tackle. It looks to be a neck stinger. I haven't received official word from the Texans yet, but as soon as I do, I will pass it along to you.
Yeah, Chris Clark has come in. There he is, the former Bronco who started in some big spots for Denver through the years.
Suafilo at left guard. At least they got some good backups.
3rd and 1. They try to sneak for the first, and the Colts are wise to it and stop them cold at the line. DeQuell Jackson.
Well, to Quell Jackson, he's seen a few quarterback sneaks in his time. That's what he's guessing. Look at everybody just crush it down inside. And, Jim, we see it every week. That quarterback sneak is just not a given, even though you have a quarterback that's 6'7".
So Abouche is going in, and this crowd is growing restless in Houston.
Well, anytime you see a quarterback sneak on 3rd and short not make it, I might be a fan of it. I wouldn't boo, but it would upset me too.
Fleur. This one merits a fair catch signal, but a bounce going into Colts' favor near the 30. That's where they'll mark it, right at the 30. Just a 30-yard punt. Colts coming back out up 10-0 in the 2nd. Together, the NFL and the American Cancer Society encourage everyone to join in the fight against breast cancer. Find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. And there in the middle for the coin toss, the First Lady of Houston Texan football, Janice McNair, a cancer survivor. Here's Gore running hard at the start, and a wiggle and another nice gain for 5. The second quarter for the Texans through the first 4 games, dreadful. They've been outscored 53-3. Fewest points scored, most points allowed in the entire league in the second quarter.
Not a good combination. It's like, hey, look, nothing's happening. And I always think somebody's got to make it happen on defense. They've neutralized J.J. Watt. Somebody else has to make a play besides him. They are double teaming J.J. Watt, making sure he's not going to wreck this game.
2nd and 5, and Hasselback loads it up and fires it. Open and caught. And that is Hilton with the reception.
Wide open, respect the speed, but let's just watch J.J. Watt and see what's going on. Well, there he is. Double team with the back as they move the pocket. Okay, now we got a 3-man rush, which I always hate. And that gives 2 guys sitting there to block him. So you have to change up on the defensive side to make sure that number 99 gets some one-on-ones so he can have an impact on the game.
Without a tackle so far, this is Gore. And that's his shortest gain of the night. We'll give him a couple.
Well, they blitzed that time. That was McKinney, the middle linebacker, coming off the edge, and that's what you do. You got to change it up. You can see everything that it's pretty amazing, isn't it? You look at this offense for Indianapolis, no practice time with the quarterback and how efficient they. And you know what, Jim? This practice is overrated. So maybe that's the way to go.
There's a lot of players around the league. They're watching right now and
right.
saying, thank you, Phil.
Phil, that away.
Appreciate that. Say it again. 2nd and 8. And Gore met by a pile of Texans for no gain, including Clowney. What do you see when you look at the tape of the second-year man who was the #1 overall pick in the draft a year ago, Jadeveon Clowney? What do you see?
I see he sticks out. I mean, his size, his presence. Right now, he is really good against the run. And once he's a rookie. Once he learns how to rush the passer, it's going to come. Him and J.J. Watt are going to be, they're going to be tremendous together.
Zerlon Tipton is in at running back, but a timeout's called by Houston. 3rd and 8 coming up out of the timeout. We're coming out of a Houston timeout, and the Colts now ready to break huddle near midfield, leading 10-0. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, Mike Carey here in the booth. 3rd and 8 for the Colts. And they're going to go draw with Tipton. Zerlon Tipton has an open lane, but may have come up about a foot short as the Texans converged on him. Some 3 players strong, including Daryl Morris.
Great check by Matt Hasselback. He saw that it was deep coverage. Everybody was man-to-man, so he knew the draw play was there. Tremendous check off, and if it is short, they've already run out the extra tight ends. Look like they're going to go for it if it's 4th and short.
Yeah, they still have the offense out on the field. They've taken Tipton out.
I'll tell you this, if it is short, I think this is a tough decision. You're dominating the game. If you go for it and don't make it, you're going to give some momentum to the other side. But saying all that, it's easy to be a coach up here. Go for it. You know, this is a chance to really just
wow, what do you think?
Put a stake on the game. They're going to go for it, it looks like, Jim. Everything you're doing is working.
Terry McCauley had to look at that 2 or 3 times to make sure that wasn't actually right on the number. It's a chain link short, and they brought Frank Gore back in. And what a start to the game by the former 49er running back who's the San Francisco all-time leading rusher.
Hard to believe it in. You watch his feet, to watch the way he can move after all the hits he's had in his career and how many times he's carried the ball. But this is the same as a quarterback sneak here. You have to have the right play against the defensive front. So if they load it up inside, you've got to run it off tackle. Don't try to run it right at the center.
Fourth and an inch. And they roll out and throw for it. They get it with Andre Johnson.
What a call. They weren't even going to take a chance. The defense, Pep Hamilton knows they're going to play run all the way. Everybody at the line of scrimmage, and who's wide open and uncovered? Andre Johnson.
Boy, Andre Johnson in this first half coming back to haunt Houston with his third catch, one of them going for the game's only touchdown.
He's right up Matt Hasselback's alley, too. Quick decision, throw it on the move. He's great at it.
Here's Hasselback down the field, and again, he's got his man. It's Moncrief with a flag out at the line of scrimmage, a couple of flags. Good throw by Hasselback for 18.
Personal foul, chop block, offense number 23. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So Gore is hit with the flag.
Yeah, here's what happens. J.J. Watt is being blocked, and there's hands. Yes, that's a good call. Muhart 75 is doing the blocking. Frank Gore goes low. That's illegal. What a throw by Hasselback, though. What anticipation to throw it out there on time and soft so the receiver can make the catch.
So it'll be 1st and 25. The Colts from the Texans. Almost a mishap there. A little congested, but Gore takes the handoff down for a gain of 2, maybe 3. One pill makes him a crime-solving mastermind. Don't miss the new hit drama Limitless, new episode Tuesday, 10/9 Central, only CBS.
I'm watching Matt Hasselback, Jim. I don't see, early in the game I thought, boy, he even shows the signs of not, but his success, maybe that's giving him a little adrenaline, but also they're huddling every time, trying to keep this game at a pace where it will not tire out their quarterback.
Robinson is the running back. Gore to the sideline for this snap. 2nd and 22. And Hasselback's pass is through the hands of Moncrief, but no Texan back there to get it off the rebound.
I think the one thing that we heard, we had a chance, we talked to Andrew Luck because we thought he might play, and even Matt Hasselback, when you talk to him, the one thing they just constantly kept saying, don't turn the football over. I think after the first couple weeks of the season, the Colts know what kind of team they are, and they're just not powerful enough and ready to overcome the turnovers that we saw early in the season.
You saw Luck had never missed a game in the NFL before last week, now 2 straight. Last missed a game as a freshman at Stanford. 3rd and 22, Hasselback with time to Hilton, and another flag is out, but that reception puts the Colts at least for a moment in field goal range.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 99, late hit. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play, automatic first down.
So the penalty on Watt will put the football inside the red zone for the Colts.
Well, double team on J.J. Watt. You get tired of these double teams. That's good acting by Matt Hasselback, but, they got Mike Carey up here in the booth. When do you decide if it hits too hard or whatever, that judgment? So
yeah, it's a judgment call by the referee. There was enough contact to call it, but in my position, I would not have called it.
Didn't look like any aggression at all there, Mike.
No. But the play design was awesome. Move the pocket, throw it down the field.
Gore is tossed down by Clowney back at the 20. Jadeveon Clowney makes the big play and a loss of 4.
We talked about him. Watch number 90. Oh my gosh, can he take on blockers and his wingspan? I mean, listen, the NFL has got a lot of incredible looking players on the field, but when you look out there and you see them all, you can pick him out. You don't need to see his number or anything. And that's the one thing. He plays the run, I think, extraordinarily well, can hold big tackles and tight ends at bay with one arm while he makes the tackle with the other.
This is only the 9th game he's played in over the course of his first season and a half, as Hasselback aims at sidearm, and again precision comes into play as Hilton catches it. Clowney was in on Hasselback when he threw it. Pickup of 11.
I mean, you got to see the throw. Watch Matt Hasselback. He knows he's in trouble. Just kind of gives it the old stand on my right foot, give it a little flick with the wrist, soft, right on target. Good job by T.Y. coming back, but Hasselback can deliver that football. Sidearm, we saw it last week for the touchdown. Any way you want it. That's why he had so much. Hey, that's why he threw for over 35,000 yards in the NFL. One of the reasons why.
Hilton with 3 catches on this drive. Gets them within 3 of the first. 3rd and 3 from the 9, and Hasselback has the pass dropped by Hilton, but another flag is out in the backfield.
Well, you can see why.
Got 2 penalties against the Colts.
Sportsmanlike conduct, the second one. You can see why they're moving the pocket. Very worried about this pass rush and passing situations. That pocket is collapsing fast.
Romeo Crennel, you saw him, former head coach in this league with the Chiefs and the Browns.
Holding, offense number 76, that penalty's declined. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the head coach of Indianapolis out of the bench area after the warning. 15-yard penalty, the down counts, 4th down.
So it brings up 4th down. You don't see that very often. A call against Pagano. Let's go down to Tracy quickly.
Well, that's exactly right. Pagano was down at the 10-yard line. The official went right over to him and said, you cannot be out here. You need to get back on the sideline. And so they called it, Jim.
So the penalty's marked off. They do not get to replay 3rd down. The ball is going to be snapped from the 24. So it'll set up a 42-yard field goal for 42-year-old Adam Vinatieri. He already made 1 tonight.
Love it. 40-year-old quarterback, 42-year-old kicker.
Vinatieri's kick is good again. And let's not forget, it's not like Gore and Andre Johnson are young guys.
That's right.
A bunch of grumpy old men.
I love it.
Come in here to Houston.
I would fit right in with them.
Absolutely. That's why you're here.
That's it.
And they're dominating here at the start, 13-0. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by McDonald's. Now serving all-day breakfast. Warner Brothers Pictures, Pan, and theaters everywhere starting tomorrow. And by GMC, we are professional grade. As you're looking down in the Houston Museum District at the Museum of Fine Arts, where the NFL owners had a dinner. Last time the Super Bowl was held here in the city of Houston back in February of '04.
Well, Chuck Pagano's not going to let it go. Whatever it was that was bothering him. I know this. He's happy with his football team so far because they are playing as good as I've seen them play. This is the best they've played all year long.
And what's going on here with Houston? I mean, you look at their defense. You said it during the break. If Watt or Clowney doesn't make the play,
they can't do anything on the defensive side. Hey, well, it's going to be hard to run the football because there's not enough threats to throw the football to. So that's going to hurt them there. But, hey, to me, the story of this game is the diversity of the Indianapolis offense and the way Matt Hasselback is playing. Hey, no practice, sick. We don't know if he's going to make it through the game. He's been tremendous.
Here's Mallett. Good play action fake this time by Mallett. And that pass, are the feet down? They say no. Hopkins was on the line. Oh, that was close.
It was close, and I'll tell you, that was some throw. DeAndre Hopkins got to know where he's at. And the heel of his left foot comes down. That's an easy call. You know, when you're a wide receiver, no matter what the route is, you got to make sure you give the quarterback a couple yards to throw the football on the sideline to use. And you could see right away as he went up, the way he was running, he was always drifting towards the out of bounds.
Would have been a 35-yard play, but no question he was out here as Foster for 7. So the steam has come out of this Houston team, especially the offense, since the opening drive. And next Thursday night, we're going to be down in the Big Easy, Phil. The Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Get your football weekend started right here on CBS and NFL Network.
See 2 hot offenses down there next week. Drew Brees got it rolling against the Dallas Cowboys. And Matt Ryan, how about that offense? And the surprise, of course, the Atlanta Falcons.
And Brees gets 400 on the game winner in overtime, and pressure on Mallett. He was walloped on the throw, going to Foster. And we've got a flag down, and Mallett's a little gimpy.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 51, leading with the crown of the helmet. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's C.O. Moore, the former Raider. They traded for Moore this year. Hoyer's got the helmet on, ready to.
Yeah, Ryan Mallett actually looks like he's going to walk off the field here. C.O. Moore, 51 on the blitz. He times it perfectly. Whoa, man, the helmet looks like it was to the side. Didn't lead with the crowd. The helmet, big break for the Houston Texans.
Right into the rib area. What do you see there, Mike Carey?
Mike said he
he definitely lowered his head, hit him with the crown right in the rib cage. That's a foul every time.
Oh, okay. I thought he hit him with the shoulder, so that's why I said that, Mike. Shoot.
So
I can't see anymore.
Brian Hoyer comes out at quarterback. He was the opening day starter when they lost here to Kansas City. And they made a quarterback change right after week 1. He gives it here to Foster. And like Ryan Mallett, of course, is the history with Bill O'Brien back when O'Brien was on the staff for Bill Belichick at New England. Both of these guys, Mallett and Hoyer, were backups to Tom Brady.
Well, that's right. They know the offense well. Bill O'Brien knows them well. George Godsey, the offensive coordinator, was in New England. So the familiarity is there. And last week, Brian Hoyer came in and he played. I know it was mop-up duty, but you can only do when you put in what you can. He played very well.
He was the starter last year in Cleveland. Of course, they got off to a fast start last season. That pass a little out of reach for Hopkins. And it sets up 3rd and 10. And now it's going to be just 2 snaps, I believe. Looks like Mallett was trying. I saw him on the sideline. He was trying to get back in, and he's upset they're not going to let him take the field again. He has been cleared, we hear from Tracy down on the sideline, to go back in, but he's not going to be in for this snap. So he's taking a few deep breaths over there after that hit by Moore. 3rd and 10. Hoyer from the gun. Hoyer's pass, a good one. Hopkins has it for the first down.
That was a matchup that really favored the Houston Texans. When you get DeAndre Hopkins against Clayton Gathers, who's a safety, you know, that surprises me. No matter where Hopkins lines up, I expected Vontae Davis to follow him wherever he's gone, but they have not done that so far here tonight.
Biggest play of the night so far, 24 for the Texans, and here's Hoyer over to Mumphrey. And he's tangled up with Lowry, pickup of 4. So the quarterback saga here has been going on since the offseason. They named Hoyer the starter again week 1. He had an early turnover and a run back for a touchdown by the Chiefs in the opener. They lost that game to Kansas City, and then on came Mallett. It was interesting. Mallett was wanting to go out for that 3rd down play, get back onto the field, and Hoyer ends up throwing a strike, and they're going to let him go ahead and continue on the drive. So
yeah,
it was that close to Mallett getting the job back. And if Hoyer does something on this series, now you got to be, if you're Bill Bryan, why would you change quarterbacks back?
You don't ever come off the field as a quarterback. I mean, you just don't. And I'm not saying, I know Ryan Mallett was he was shook up, so he comes out. But Brian Hoyer, I saw him on the field before the game. He was in great spirits, and he just goes, look, it always comes back to you in these situations. You got to be ready. And so far, he looks like he's been ready when his time's coming around.
Well, he's got a 3rd down here, 3rd and 6. He's converted already on the 3rd and 10. And he does it again with Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins with his 5th catch of the night for 66 yards. That one gain of 11.
You see the trend here? Who are we going to throw it to? Number 10. He's the guy you got to get close to, double team, make sure you match up. Brian Hoyer said he learned a lot after that first game after they benched him. It shows in last week's game and so far here.
Here's Foster. And he kind of slipped. Was he hurt? Oh, I may have. It was an awkward way that he went to the ground. He did butt heads. And a little staggered.
23, Derek Newton back in the game there. Good job to slip. Looks like he slips on the turf.
Also took a pretty good hit to the head here by Jackson. And he's going to walk to the sideline.
There's no doubt. Hope he's okay, of course, but Brian Hoyer, pace of the game is speeding up with him in there. He makes quick decisions, and you can see why he shook up. Jackson with that hit.
Yeah, his right shoulder took a pretty good blow there too, but woozy and walks off. Blue is in at running back, and Hoyer now orchestrating the rest of this drive as we move inside of 4 minutes in the first half. Texans down 13-0. Abouche's back on the offensive front for the Texans, and Hoyer's got all kinds of time. And the flag's down as Hoyer throws it to the back of the end zone. What an effort by Hopkins, but he was out.
Personal foul, chop block, offense number 78. 15-yard penalty, second down.
I had just mentioned Abouche had just returned to the game, and he gets flagged for that. Look at this acrobatic play by Hopkins. Oh, his feet. Well, maybe he didn't take it all the way to the ground.
Well, it doesn't matter, because watch 78. Same play we saw before with the running back. The pass rushers engaged. You cannot go below the waist and make contact as a second blocker.
Arian Foster, Phil, is back on the field for the Texans. Sits out only one play. He splits out wide, and now he's going to return to the backfield. Each team's been flagged for personal fouls on 3 occasions tonight. 2nd and 21. Foster. Boy, you've just been knocked silly, and you come back and give him the football on 2nd and 21. And you get stopped for no gain or a loss of a yard. Let's go back down to Tracy.
Well, Lance, Arian Foster basically put himself back into the game. As soon as the trainers were talking about it, he turned around and he just walked back out there. And then they called them, and he said, they said to him, you need to come back out here. Do you want us to look at you? And he went back out there right for that next play. And right now the independent neurologist is watching on the video replay to see the exact hit. Jed.
Okay.
Very good. That's right. They look at it. They determine they can take him out of the game.
3rd and 21. Hopkins across the middle. Underneath, they get some of it back, and they'll have a field goal attempt coming up.
You know, really, somebody should have been watching Arian Foster, though, on that sideline, Jim, and they should not have let him get back in this football game. So that was a mistake. But a good job by Brian Hoyer. Excellent drive by him. I'll be very surprised if they don't keep him in the game now, just because of that drive and the rhythm they had driving it down the field.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing to watch. Will it be Hoyer's offense, or will they go back to Mallett the next time they have it? Here's Nick Novak, the former Charger kicker, just signed a week ago, had only one attempt last week at Atlanta, missed from 53 yards out. This is after the team cut Randy Bullock off of early season troubles, and Novak from 36 is good. His first make as a Texan. Nick Novak. And Houston is on the board. Tonight on Undrafted, a Super Bowl hero helps a former teammate try to realize his NFL dream. Then football town, Barrow, Alaska, the Whalers have to come together after losing both team captains. 2 original series on NFL Network tonight after the postgame, only on NFL Network. So now Foster gets checked out on that Houston sideline. And I understand his helmet's been taken away from him while they go through all these checkpoints.
Well, that's Jim. That's right. You know, there is somebody on this, and make sure he doesn't get back in the game when there's questions. So looks like they finally got that remedy down there on the Houston sideline.
Brian Peters drags down Griff Whalen. NFL Thursday Night Football sponsored by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon, and by Mazda. Driving matters back here in the 4th most populated city in the United States, the vibrant city of Houston. But while we were in the break, watch Foster. He's just received word they're taking him in to test him, go through the concussion protocol. And he's on the way to the locker room. 2 seconds to go before the 2-minute warning. And the Colts have all of their timeouts. And they go with Gore. Gore slices ahead for about 3. Here was the hit by DeQuell Jackson that took him out. 2-minute warning here in Houston. Coming up on the Lexus halftime report, JB, Dion, Coach Coward. They're going to break down the first half action here, and there might be more action to come here in the final minute and 57 seconds. Colts leading at 13-3. As the Colts have a first down over to their first-round pick, Philip Dorsett with his 8th catch.
Wow, coverage
of the season.
Way off. Philip Dorsett. First round pick is fast, but you got to honor the situation and be a little tighter.
Timeout called. All right, you may have seen the signal. They've signaled that that was a Houston timeout. It's a mystery as to why they would call the timeout after the Colts pick up the first down. That's the word we're getting confirmed, as it's a first down. Indianapolis from the 32, and Hasselbeck went back in the direction of Dorsett. The coverage provided there by Kevin Johnson, a matchup of first-round picks.
Well, let's look at this, Jim. Next gen, J.J. Watt. Well, you see all the red means all the times he's made plays behind the line of scrimmage.
Pretty impressive. 4 sacks, 11 tackles for a loss. Tops in the league. So far, no tackles tonight.
Yep, no tackles. They've done a great job double teaming him, chipping him with tight ends and backs, moving the pocket. Hard to get rhythm as a pass rusher.
2nd and 10. It's to Gore on the carry, and Cushing holds on to him. Pickup of 6. Gore with 11 carries, 52 yards. And a timeout again signaled in the Houston direction. Last one for the Texans. Vinatieri hoping to be called to action. A big third down coming up here, Phil.
Yeah, big third down. You know, Houston taking a chance here, using those timeouts, hoping to get the football back and keep momentum on their side. You got to hope these timeouts don't help this Indianapolis offense.
Third, we'll call it 4, and Hasselbeck's pass incomplete. In and out of the hands of Moncrief. That was Kevin Johnson making a fine play. Moore was in there as well.
What a job by Kevin Johnson getting their team off the field. But look at J.J. Watt. Let's just watch his first half. They take him outside, they run inside. Then they chip him, catches him off guard, and then also there's going to be a double team. But when he's singled up, what does he do? He draws a penalty. He's drawn 2 penalties tonight, Jim. Both of them been pretty big.
McAfee to punt. McAfee with a beauty. And a flag is thrown on the near side. In the area of the return, it's Mumphrey breaking it for the Texans, and the rookie is brought down by Doyle at about the 45-yard line. But again, there's a flag, a 54-yard punt and a 37-yard return.
Holding receiving team number 20 during the kick. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And they're going to bring Hoyer out at quarterback, not Mallett.
Roll number 20, watching. Oh, there's the grabs the jersey, almost gets the face mask. And Bill O'Brien's kind of a risk calling those timeouts almost paid off for him.
Again, coming up, the Lexus halftime report. JB and the crew will take you through the first half, and I'm sure they're going to want to discuss the fact that they come back out with Hoyer.
Well, You play the hot hand. What he did in that last drive, the offense did have some rhythm. Listen, Ryan Mallett did nothing wrong, really, as I watched the game tonight. He threw it to the right person every single time, but that just shows you where they are with their quarterback situation. Just not settled, not afraid to make changes.
Mallett, 7 out of 10. He was picked, but that was not his fault. Off the hands of Foster as Hoyer throws from the end zone and gets it out complete to Polk, who was able to get out of bounds to stop the clock again. The Texans out of timeouts. Gain of 12.
A really good job. Brian Hoyer in a situation like this, a minute 9, you take. If you have to throw it 2 yards, you do it. Hope for the run. Don't take a chance and make a mistake and really just put your team in an unbelievable situation if you make a turnover right now.
Yeah, but just over there shaking his head. He can't believe he's lost his job over this as Hoyer scrambles out across the 30. Hoyer picking up where he left off last Sunday at the end of the game in Atlanta. This Houston team faced its biggest deficit in franchise history, down 42-0 to Atlanta at one time, before Hoyer in the fourth quarter led touchdown drives that covered 64, 75, and 80 yards. And he hits that one to Garrett Graham, the backup tight end, but a flag is out.
It's going to be on the Colts, so that is good. It stops the clock on a play that was tackled in bounds.
There's no doubt Hoyer's brought a little spark to this offense.
Yeah, even got the fans to clap.
Holding, defense number 98. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So the clock has stopped with 38 seconds, and there, of course, is Robert Mathis, who's had a big career with the Colts, 6 Pro Bowls.
Wow, Robert Mathis making sure the running back doesn't get out. I'll tell you one thing, the number 98, Robert Mathis, if he gets it rolling like we've seen in the past, and he's not far off. When you watch him, I watched him when he's played so far this year. It's hard to discern or see if he was hurt, so he's getting close to being back full speed and being a force.
Blew out his Achilles and had 10 surgeries since last year on that Achilles to get back on the field. Hoyer chased after and throws it out of bounds and is able to save the sack. He had no chance as Jackson and Trent Cole were on him.
Yeah, and Simon, everybody, this is what they do best. To quell Jackson, this Colts defense, they like the blitz. And I really thought they were doing it on rundowns. It stopped the Houston running game a little bit. But Vontae Davis, Greg Toller, 2 solid corners. They can cover people on the outside. That frees up some of these inside guys to blitz and get to the quarterback.
Second down, but more importantly, 31 seconds to go, no timeouts. Hoyer in the pocket, tipped off the hands of Mumphrey. Again, Hoyer started week 1 still against Kansas City, and the Texans got down early as Alex Smith hit Travis Kelce with a couple of first quarter touchdowns, and Hoyer had a strip sack and lost the fumble on that, threw an interception. These led to those early scores. And there was a quick change made after just 1 game to Mallett, but
well, to his credit, Jim, they brought him in last week. He played well, and it's been good so far here tonight. So didn't sit back and pout about it. You keep working. Your chance will come around again as a quarterback in the NFL, and this is his chance.
And 3rd and 10, Hoyer. Good pass. Hopkins, second foot, is down, and he's out of bounds at the Colts 47. Pick up a 17.
Does he catch it cleanly? Does he have the football? Yes. Second foot. Looks like a catch to me. And DeAndre Hopkins, so far, he is the guy in this Houston offense they cannot cover.
He is shining bright here. 7 catches, 95 yards. 95 of Houston's 130 receiving yards. And Polk backpedals out of bounds. 14 seconds to go.
What a job by this Houston. Give Bill O'Brien a lot of credit. He called some timeouts there that could have backfired and led to points for the Indianapolis Colts if they catch the pass. He took the chance. Hey, that's what you do as a head coach. You know, you gotta stick your nose out there sometimes and take a chance. And what a drive by Brian Hoyer. You got maybe one throw, two max. And if you get caught in bounds, you got to alert everybody. Try to spike the ball. I don't know if you can have time to throw it in bounds and get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
Ball start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Called on Dwayne Brown.
Play was stopped, so they do not have a 10-second runoff with no timeouts, Jim, since the clock was stopped. If the clock was moving, that would have been the end of the first half.
Hoyer trying to pick up. Probably needs 10 yards or so just to give Novak a chance. Novak's career long came as a member of the Chargers, 53 yards. But the Texans would love to give him a chance to get this down to a one-score game as Hoyer shakes off the hit. And incomplete to Worthy. But let's check the flag.
Offside, defense number 98. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Mathis flagged for another penalty on this series.
Tell you what surprises me. We'll see if they line up it again this time. But the corners are way off the wide receivers. You could throw it to the sideline and get it. There you see the field goal line. But let's watch the corners and see if they give them short out cuts to make the field goal try easier.
9 seconds.
Timeout.
Timeout called by Indianapolis. What do you think the Colts told their defenders during that timeout?
Let them catch it in bounds. Any pass that's thrown and tackled or in the field of play, they will not be able to stop the clock with only 9 seconds left. So they lined up right. They got everybody along the sidelines to make sure there's no quick throws.
Hoyer looking to the sideline and over the head of Polk. And we're down to 4 seconds. If they were to try a field goal, it would be 60-yard attempt from here, and that does not look like a viable option.
Well, here's why they call timeout, Jim. Look down here, look up top, look at all the people along the sidelines. They're not going to give them those extra yards for that, 5 or 6 yards that makes that field goal attempt indoors, I think, makeable. Brian Hoyer has plenty of arm to make this in the end zone. I got to tell you the truth, we're indoors. I would try a 60-yard field goal here. I really would.
I don't disagree with that. Here's Hoyer. 1 second left. They were trying to get it as quickly as run a 3-second play. That's what they were trying to do, and I don't know if that was realistic. Even though it shows 1, had Mumphrey caught it, that probably would have run it out. And they are going to stay with the offensive unit out there. 1 tick left.
Yeah, well, this time there's no question they're going to. You're right. They were trying to maybe get a few quick yards. If he catches the football, I still think the 4 seconds was going to go.
I do too.
Off the clock.
They've got Jalen Strong in there, Phil, the rookie from Arizona State, who's a good-looking talent, although he's been inactive at the start of the season. 3rd rounder out of the Sun Devils. Hoyer loads it up, fires it to the end zone, and it is caught, I believe. He's got it. It's Strong. We just talked about him. Comes in really for the first time this season and makes the play for the touchdown to end the half.
Perfect throw by Brian Hoyer, throwing it high, giving the guys time to get to the end zone. But really what's disturbing, watch the defensive backs for the Indianapolis Colts. Nobody gets it. They're knocking each other off the football. And good job by Strong going up and getting that catch.
I'd only seen Strong on the field 1 or 2 snaps before this. He was the highest drafted of the rookie receiving corps. And Hoyer completes A 95-yard touchdown drive with no timeouts here at the end of the half.
The Colts defensive backs actually ran into each other and were piled up, about 4 of them. Nobody near strength.
Extra point is good, and by the way, Mallett's already run off the field and into the tunnel to the locker room. Hoyer comes in and leads the Texans to the last 10 points of the half. How about Jalen Strong making his presence felt the first time he's thrown to in the NFL? 13-10, Colts lead it at the intermission. Back after this message and a word from your local station with the Lexus halftime report. We're back in Houston, and one more look. Jalen Strong getting position in the end zone, and the rookie brings it down. 42-yard Hail Mary. Mallett, yes, he did celebrate with his team. And, you know, we had told you he went off, headed to the locker room after that. Nothing offensive there.
Not at all. Not at all.
Now, here's the amazing thing. Jalen Strong last year at Arizona State caught a Hail Mary at the end of the game to beat USC from 46 yards out.
So he's done this before. I'll just say that, though. If you saw, you know it's going to be that type of pass. Did you see the backs that were turned by the Indianapolis Colts defensive backs? They actually ran into each other. That's a play you work on almost from the first day of training camp. Knock it down.
All right, let's take a double check now. This highlight from the first half presented by State Farm. Hoyer, here he is finishing off a 95-yard drive with no timeouts and about a minute and a little change to go. Here are the Texans, who had scored 3 points in the second quarter all season long. Hoyer leads them to 10 points in the back half of the second quarter tonight.
A couple stories there, Jim. Bill O'Brien, you got to give him a lot of credit. You know, he managed the game at the end. It worked out well. And the untold story there, besides Matt Hasselbeck, how he played, how about the pass protection the Houston offensive line has given to the quarterbacks? A lot of obvious passing situations, still having time to throw it. And there's no question who's going to be the quarterback for the Houston Texans here in the second half. That's going to be Brian Hoyer. I do feel bad for Ryan Mallett. He was playing well when they took him out. Hoyer was ready, hit a few passes, and they kept him in.
Again, the Colts deferred at the start, so they get the football here. Whalen is going to bring it out from 6 deep. Nice collision back at the 12. Whalen is able to slip through a tackle of Novak. And a great return by Griff Whalen. Finally tackled by Kevin Johnson. A 50-yard return. And let's check in with Tracy.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. You were talking about Brian Hoyer finishing this game, and that's exactly what Bill O'Brien told me. This is his game to finish. I asked him about Arian Foster. He said he took a pretty big hit. He didn't think he'd see him back, but right now Arian Foster has his helmet in his hand. No official word from the Texans, and I spoke with a frustrated Chuck Pagano, who just said we made a bonehead play there, and we let them back in it. Jim?
They certainly did. 13-10. Margin when it was 13-0 at one time. And Hasselbeck coming off a 9 of 15 performance in the first half. Easy little throw to Dwayne Allen, who's back tonight. And Allen steps out at the Houston 35. Pick up a 21.
Jim, just watch the defensive backs with their backs turned, not even finding the football. 5 of them, they actually got in each other's way.
Here it is. As soon as it happened, we had Steve Karasek down in the truck, Holt and Hockaday up here in the booth, and they all said, hey, this happened last year at the Coliseum. Arizona State winning at USC with Jalen Strong.
How about that?
Catching the touchdown to win it in that case. This was, of course, different situation into the half tonight, but the pass is pulled in by Andre Johnson.
Well, what a throw by Matt Hasselbeck. First, you got all the momentum on your side. You give up the big return. Nice first call to get the offense started again. Does he get both feet down? Yes, he does. Okay.
Well, he's been absent from the attack the last 2 games without a catch. He had only one game in his career with the Texans where he did not have a catch. He came in tonight with back-to-back games, but 4 tonight. Here's Gore weaving his way down to the 2-yard line. What an impressive drive by the Colts.
Boy, it is. And it's really just kind of been this way all night long. It's just the running game has been bad for the Colts so far this year. I mean, they're one of the 26th in the league rushing the football. Sometimes when you know, hey, all week long your quarterbacks are not there at practice, that just gives a little fever to the offensive line and everybody. And so far, it's working for him here tonight.
That run by Gore made him the 17th all-time rusher in the history of the league. He just moved past John Riggins with that last run. And they go back to Gore, and Gore is in for the touchdown. Frank Gore finishes it off. He's had a nice night here tonight.
Up the middle. Jim, he's having a great night. Look at those. How about his feet? Can you? It's just nobody touches him. The good block inside by Holmes. Muhort, the left guard, pushes it down. Vince Wilfork's out. Jared Crick gets pushed all the way across the formation by the left tackle, Anthony Costanzo. What a job by this offensive line.
How about the way they work it down the field? Yes, Dwayne Allen had a big catch and run, but they get the throw to Andre Johnson. A couple of runs by Gore, and this theme continues for the Colts tonight. These veteran players. Frank Gore, after the Andre Johnson catch, Gore at 32 years old, looking pretty spry tonight. All these question marks swirling coming into this game. How are the Colts going to do it tonight without Andrew Luck? And look at the way these guys have responded.
Yeah, tremendous job so far by this Colts offense. And hey, I was leading those questions. How are you going to do it without Andrew Luck?
Yeah, legitimate questions too coming in. Saturday, the SEC on CBS, the best game from the best conference. The Volunteers will host the Georgia Bulldogs. And the hoopla begins with college football today, this Saturday, Georgia, Tennessee. So Foster returns to the huddle.
There you go. So past the protocol in the locker room, they deemed him okay, and he's back on the field. And they need him to run the football well to keep this defense honest.
Give it to him right away. And Foster squeezes out 4. That gives him 13 carries on the night for 29 yards.
Kendall Langford on the tackle, number 90, free agent pickup for him. That's the one thing that caught me by surprise. I kind of said it earlier. The defensive front for the Colts, Kendall Langford, he's new to the team. They got 2 rookies in there starting, and you can kind of see this defensive front's coming around and getting better with each week.
It's Foster.
There's one of them, number 54, Perry, in the middle.
How about these 2 kids out of Stanford? Yeah. Anderson drafted in the 3rd round, Perry in the 5th round, so they serve on the defensive front at Stanford together. They get drafted by the same team and start on the same defensive line in the league.
It's unbelievable. Of course, there's Andrew Luck there, right?
Yeah. Little Stanford connection.
Yeah,
just say.
Yes.
You know,
tight end.
Griff Whalen,
the wide receiver.
Toby Fleener. Yeah, Pep Hamilton. 3rd and 3.
Different look, everybody up, pressing all the receivers.
Got one-on-one over here to Hopkins, and he makes the catch. Able to beat Vontae Davis, but there's a flag back near midfield.
Pass interference, offense number 10. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Offensive pass interference.
Top of the screen, this is an adjustment they made at halftime. There's the arm extended by DeAndre Hopkins. That's a good call. They finally put Vontae Davis on DeAndre Hopkins, the guy they could not cover in the first half.
And look at Pagano. He's already signaling for the arm bar, and he got the call.
Yeah, when you're a receiver and you extend that arm just like a defensive back, it's going to slow down the defender. And
with the mark off and the loss of yardage. It cost him 33 yards. 3rd and 13. Dump off pass. Short gain to Fedorowicz, the tight end. And the Texans will have to punt.
Boy, what a job of the old answering the call, whatever you want to call it. The Colts go in. The game gets turned around. The return, a couple plays, the score, and then a 3 and out.
Might have been another impassioned Pagano. Here's Whale. He got the second half started with the big 50-yard run back, and it's not a bad punt return either. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the Uncarrier. Outback Steakhouse, hurry in. Steak and unlimited shrimp is ending soon. Tasty. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL, the Houston Zoo.
You know, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jeff. That's it. No, but I'll just say, all the backup quarterbacks, you and I have seen them. We saw Jimmy Clausen out in Seattle. I've watched all the games. Most of the backup quarterbacks have performed pretty well. But Matt Hasselbeck is the only one I've seen where he really, of course, is his age and experience, where he really gets to run the offense and has a chance to go out there and be a big part in winning the game.
It's Gore. First down rush. He gets a couple of extra hits from Cushing and gains a couple.
Well, look at these runs. Look at everybody being blocked inside. Khalid Holmes, great job of wash it down, push it down, kick out by Doyle, the tight end, and walk into the end zone. They have been looking for this all year. I know it's still early, but the Colts have been so one-dimensional.
Second and 8 with Robinson replacing Gore and getting the handle. Robinson, the rookie out of Mississippi State, has a gain of 4 with his first handle of the evening. Tonight, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Don't miss Kate Blanchett. And tomorrow, Stephen welcomes the host of The Late Late Show, James Corden, all new, only CBS. Got Fleener lining up in the backfield. Fleener coming off a 9-catch game in the win against Jacksonville. 1 catch so far tonight. Colts have not converted on 3rd down in this one. 0 for 5. Knocked down by Jonathan Joseph, trying to feed it into T.Y. Hilton.
Good play by Jonathan Joseph. J.J. Watt, what happens here? It's one-on-one, but there's another guy there to double team him, Thornton. And Clowney, same thing. So they're taking the best 2 pass rushers, and they're double teaming them both. And they're asking somebody else on that Houston defense to get pressure. The answer is there is nobody else.
Pat McAfee, 2nd in the league in net average this season, behind Andy Lee. This is another good one. Gets the fair catch by Mumphrey near the 10. 47-yard punt. Fair caught inside the 20. And it's 20-10. Colts, 3rd quarter. Six miles away on the University of Houston campus, the Cougars playing host tonight to SMU and leading at 35-21 3rd quarter. Busy sports night for the Houston sports fans. Texans, Cougars, and Astros all in action. That's Hopkins. There's Astros on the road and coming off the big win against the Yankees. As Hopkins has looked good here tonight. Sharp.
Oh, yeah, he's the go-to receiver without question. Especially since he's out there with 3 rookies, but look at everything he's done. He's lined up everywhere on the field. And I'll tell you, you know, TV, watching these guys as we get ready for games, sometimes it doesn't do it justice. I see him in person and go, he's pretty quick and a lot faster than he looks when I see him on TV. So he's tough to cover one-on-one.
Former 1st-round pick loves Andre Johnson, considers him a big brother. Apprentice under him his first couple of years in the league. Foster got just enough on him to slow him down near the 20. Wake up and watch with the world for the first time ever. The NFL is streaming a live game on Yahoo. Bills Jaguars from London, Sunday morning, October 25th at 9:30 Eastern. Learn more at yahoo.com/NFL stream. The carry by Foster earns the Texans a first down. Here's Hoyer stepping up and firing it. Hopkins now over 100 with his 9th catch of the night.
Well, when you play this defense, it's kind of soft right across the field. The linebackers get brought up by the running back trying to cover them, and look, nobody across the field to cover Hopkins.
By the way, a new field here, Phil.
I like
Houston. They went artificial after their opening game against Kansas City. They switched it out. There is Foster met at the line by Anderson, the rookie out of Stanford.
Well, I see why they did, Jim. We did the game, the second game of the year for the Kansas City Chiefs, so I watched it. That opening game here in the field, it was beat up looking, so I like the fact that they went to this field turf.
Here's Hoyer trying to engineer another drive like he did fourth quarter against Atlanta and at the end of the second quarter tonight. Over he goes to Foster. Cuts back to the middle. That little wiggle picks up another first down as he was able to juke Dwight Lowry and gain 10.
Yeah, Hoyer really on target with the football, making quick decisions. This offensive line doing a good job. But Arian Foster, you can tell when you watch him tonight, Jim, just not back to the form that we've seen him. Coming off the injury, lack of playing time, not able to make guys like that one there, not making the defender miss and pick up the extra 5 or 10 yards.
He's got 4 catches on the game, and Hoyer across the body complete to Mumphrey. The ball comes out, but he's down at the Colts 49, picks up 6.
Well, we see it so many times in games. Really good job by this Houston offense. Spread them out, and when you start throwing the football on a regular basis and the defenders don't get there, what happens? They tire out, makes it easier for the quarterback to find those guys open down the field.
Here's Foster on 2nd and 4. There's a nice move. Got to his feet and picks up the first. Able to escape Langford. And Foster on this drive has picked up 3 first downs.
Yeah, excellent job there. Seeing the field, cutting back. Caught Adams, the safety, overplaying and makes it back. And I'll tell you what, the coaches were right. They said to me, even though it was a walkthrough week, they could see his determination, how he was so mad about last week's game down in Atlanta, and we're seeing a pretty determined Arian Foster here tonight.
That looked a little bit like the Foster you were talking about.
That's right.
And Hoyer, first down throw, wide open. It's Hopkins. Down to the 10 and out of bounds. Hopkins putting up monster numbers here tonight. That's his 10th catch for 148 yards.
Hopkins going to come across the field here. They got double crossers. The defense, they follow one guy. Watch Hopkins as he comes across. Nobody goes with him. Great play call. Pretty, what I would call a national pass. You see that every week by offenses in the NFL. The Colts not ready for it. Hopkins wide open.
And that's the third, by the way, consecutive game over 100 yards by Hopkins. Only Johnson, Andre Johnson, only Texan to ever go consecutive games, much less 3 in a row like Hopkins has achieved tonight. They drop back Foster a yard on that one.
Well, you know what happens, Jim? Brian Hoyer's a veteran quarterback. And, you know, I talked to Greg Minuski about this, the defensive coordinator for the Colts. When you're a veteran quarterback and you just drop back and watch the quarterback and play zone, in the NFL now with these wide receivers and everything they do on the offensive side, it's almost impossible to stop. You want to stop them, you got to get up there tight, or you got to blitz the quarterback.
2nd and goal. And Hoyer goes to the end zone. Wide open for the touchdown, and it's Jalen Strong again. How about this? 2 catches in the NFL, and both have gone for touchdowns.
Really well done. Here he goes to the corner. A lot of times quarterbacks look at the underneath receivers in that exact play. What a job by Brian Hoyer going through from the deep receiver. Then he doesn't even have to come underneath. because the defense makes a mistake. Nobody covering strong. What a drive by the Texans. Once again, Hoyer in the pass protection, outstanding.
Extra point by Novak is good. The long throw to Hopkins set it up. Hoyer is 8 for his last 8, with 2 of them going for touchdowns. Both, in fact, to Jalen Strong. A 90-yard touchdown drive completed this time by Brian Hoyer.
Man, he is sharp, throwing nothing but spirals, right on target, moving when he has to, finding the open guy. What else can I say? He was ready to play, got the chance. To say he took advantage of it is, of course, an understatement.
You know, he won a Thursday night start last year, so now it's time for this Texans defense to step up and give the Houston crowd something to cheer about. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Walmart. For winning game time recipes, visit walmart.com. And by the Lexus IS 200 Turbo and IS 300 all-wheel drive. You need one of these, partner. Come down here, go to the hat store. Get yourself a little 10-gallon hat.
You know, my head's big enough. I don't know if I need a big hat on top of it.
They have a size that big.
Yeah, they
I
do?
checked. Yeah, they got one waiting for you. All right, the crowd is stirred. The game has been compelling. And the Colts lead it with possession. 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Back throws to Fleener, and holding on for the tackle, Andre Howe.
Jim, let's look at the touchdown. I think Vontae Davis is the guy that should be staying back. But what a job by Brian Hoyer going through his reads and not predetermining who he's going to throw the football to. And, of course, Ryan Mallett, I do feel for him because I know what he's thinking. I could have made all these throws myself, too. So, tough situation for him. His time will come again, just like it did for Matt Hasselbeck. I mean, for Brian Hoyer, you just got to be ready.
2nd and 5. And Hasselbeck fakes into the line and looks long. Down the field he goes with a flag out. He was throwing toward T.Y. Hilton.
Prior to the pass, holding defense number 24. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Week 5 of the season continues Sunday on CBS and Fox. Here's the next broadcast window at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
You know, if you watch Matt Hasselbeck and you just watch how he plays the position, holds the football, stays on his feet, moves them in a beautiful flowing throwing motion, it's a great way for kids to learn, watch, and try to copy what he does.
It's Gore churning ahead for another 6 or 7. You know, Hasselbeck, he's been in the league since coming out of the '98 draft. That's right, he was in the same draft that produced Peyton Manning as the first. Ryan Leaf was the second. Yeah, he said, yeah, you know, 1, 2, and 187. I was 187.
Well, you know, and he had a really good career in college. So went up to Green Bay and lit it up every time he played in preseason, and got to go with Mike Holland, of course, out to Seattle.
Here's Gore within a couple of yards of the first. Players from the '98 NFL draft currently on rosters. Well, you've got Peyton, of course, first overall. The 4th pick, still in the league and making plays.
Yeah, making plays.
Charles Woodson. You know, Hasselbeck, there he is. He said he didn't even think anyone would draft me. He said he had a pro day. One guy showed up. It was the quarterback coach for the Packers. It was snowing outside. He had me go outside and throw like 10 passes. I wasn't that sharp, but he was from Green Bay, and they drafted me. That guy was Andy Reid.
That's awesome.
3rd and 1. Up the middle with Tipton, and he's going to take it just across the necessary yardage for the first.
Good job there. Little different formation. 2 running backs. You don't see two running backs in the backfield for the Colts too often. They have used Tipton tonight. You saw that run. But they've also used him to go in there and block and double team against J.J. Watt a few times, and it's worked well.
That is the first third down conversion for Pep Hamilton's offense tonight.
Boy, Pep Hamilton's... it wasn't funny talking to him. He just was beside himself thinking, what am I going to do when I got no practice with a quarterback during the week? Well, whatever he came up with, we've seen it's working.
Well protected, and they go over to Josh Robinson. Good tackle made by Morris. And it's a gain of 6. Excellent protection. This reworked offensive line of a couple of weeks ago has done the job.
They're just doing a great job. Up top, there's a double team by 2 tight ends. And the other big thing is, watch J.J. Watt. There they go. That's how you got to do it. Keep 2 guys on him.
Have you ever seen J.J. have such a quiet night?
No. The game plan, what did Chuck Pagano say to us? What's your #1 goal? He goes, do not let J.J. Watt destroy the game.
Yeah, he can wreck the game. Do not allow that to happen. That was Chuck's big message. 2nd and 4.
It's a hold.
And Hasselbeck goes back to Andre Johnson for yet another catch and a pickup of 14. You saw a hold, but there's no flag.
There's no flag, so but it looked like it. That arm went out.
Where was the hold?
Against J.J. Watt. But Andre Johnson, man. Look at Matt Hasselbeck, turns back. Man, you know, I said this a lot tonight, but throws such a catchable ball, perfect spirals, easy for wide receivers and running backs to handle.
Last play of quarter number 3. Nope, we'll take that snap on the other side. First place is on the line here tonight in Houston. Colts lead it 20-17 heading to the 4th. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching Thursday Night Football. We got another riveting Thursday night game, Phil. Last week, overtime in Pittsburgh.
Don't be so surprised.
The Kansas City-Denver game that we started with, it came down to the last minute. And here we start the 4th with Hasselbeck tossing it over to Doyle. A little hospitality. Well, check it out. Colts in this AFC South have won 15 straight division games. That ties the all-time NFL record dominance over a division. That was a record that is shared by the Miami Dolphins of yesteryear and the Peyton Manning Colts of a few years back. They've during this stretch, though, 14-12 against the rest of the league. They're 22-4 all-time against Houston. And 2nd and 10, Gore trying to cut outside. He's not able to get around Clowney, but that brought out a flag on that tackle. Clowney says, no, no, no.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Defense number 90. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Clowney refuses to believe it and says, look up at the screen here.
Yeah, puts his hands on the face mask. It's close, but it doesn't. It comes off, and that's a tough call against Jadeveon Clowney.
Did he ever actually touch it? I mean, he just grazed it, but he grabbed the side of the helmet, it looked like.
Yep.
Good. Okay, that puts the football at the Houston 24. 4 personal fouls now on the Texans tonight. And this one's whistled dead. Kareem Jackson's not going to have a pick on this occasion.
No play. Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 74. On the previous play, it was grasping the helmet opening.
Okay, so Terry McCauley explains that one given a chance. Sunday at 9, NFL Network, one-on-one interview with Bill Belichick. And Julio Jones talks about his fast start to the season. NFL Game Day morning, live Sunday at 9, only on NFL Network. And Bill, we're going to see Bill Belichick.
Well, looking forward to that game. Watching that New England offense.
That's New England at Dallas.
At Dallas this weekend. It's going to be a good game.
1st and 15 now. Gore up the middle and free again, and still going strong. This is a guy his whole career has gotten stronger and better, and a lot of his yardage late in the game.
You are right, but look up front. Nobody gets off the blocks, and Frank Gore breaks the tackle. I'm not sure if that was Vince Wilfork in there, but the linebackers up the middle not making the tackles here tonight. The time John Simon had his arms around him, couldn't bring him down.
Gore's best performance through the first 5 games of the season. He had 86 against Tennessee, 89 tonight, plus a score. That last play gained 15. There's another handle, and he's knocked back after 1. No, that's actually Robinson.
Yeah, they're getting him in there. Chuck Pagano talked about Robinson, just said he likes him, wanted to give him some carries. You know, low center, in other words, not real tall, but strong, tough, can get those inside yards that you need in a situation like this.
Hey, Phil, Jonathan Joseph dinged. He is on the sideline. And Kevin Johnson has come in for him. Let's see if the Colts recognize it. They're going to put T.Y. Hilton over on this side, bottom of the screen. Hasselbeck going the other way, and in and out of the hands of Andre Johnson. Jackson broke it apart.
Yeah, good job by Kareem Jackson. Look, he's doing double duty out there. They ask him to play corner sometimes against Andre Johnson here, but also in a lot of situations, Jim, just like last week against the Atlanta Falcons, he has to go back and play safety. So not easy to do, and he's done it well. Trying to get more speed and cover guys on the defensive side. That's why they ask him to play both positions.
This drive has lasted almost 7 minutes. 3rd down. They need 9. Hasselbeck. And he is intercepted in the end zone by Raheem Moore. There is a flag. And it's going to go against the Texans.
Part of the pass, holding, defense number 35. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Eddie Pleasant is called for the hold. He was not over there in the area where the ball was thrown and then picked by Raheem Moore, but that gives the Colts the first down. Houston's 10th penalty of the night.
Eddie Pleasant's the one that came in. Here's 35, reaches out and grabs Dante Moncrief. You know, listen, I know you think it's nothing, but again, you're running free down the field. Somebody reaches out, grabs you, slows you down.
Stack the line, the Colts do. There's Robinson. Manages 1. And they'll bring back Gore to the huddle.
There's still plenty of time, Jim. The big thing here is for the defense, hold it to a field goal, keep it to 1 score.
Romeo Crennel urging his defense to hold him to a field goal at best. Fake to Gore. Hasselbeck with time, directs and throws, and a little push by Jackson.
Hit him early.
Bring out the flag. Kareem Jackson's 2nd flag of the night. He got called for face mask in the first half.
Pass interference, defense number 25. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball we placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
He's prone to a lot of penalty calls, and this one's a costly one.
Here, the quarterback goes this way. They're trying to sneak him all the way across the field. The defense is not fooled. It's the old shoot play, you know, look, just try to sneak across there.
Question is, would he have caught it if there wasn't the shove?
I don't know, Jim. We're not going to. It really doesn't matter. That was a good call. He was definitely pushed before the football got there.
Will they give it to Gore? Yes, they do. Gore tries to go off left tackle and goes back 1 yard. They have had the football for a long time. Now approaching 8 minutes.
You know, that play, the last couple plays, the penalties clever on the offensive side, and what's got to be disheartening for the Houston Texans, they were not fooled by either one. They just committed penalties that did not need to be committed, that's for sure. And they had the play covered.
4 Houston penalties on this drive alone. 2nd and goal from the 2. Hasselbeck to the end zone, and a lot of contact there, and no flag this time on Jackson. Fleener was the target.
Kobe Fleener, big tight end. Usually when you get a match like that, if you throw it on a line, back shoulder it, that gives the offensive player such an advantage over the defensive player.
Third and goal. Crucial snap in this game. To Andre Johnson, and he takes it across for the touchdown. His 2nd of the night.
They had the perfect play called to work here for the touchdown. Everybody on the blitz, both safeties up the middle. What's this play remind you of, Jim? This is the exact play that Seattle ran against the New England Patriots.
Where's Malcolm Butler?
That's right.
And look at this, no one touches him.
No one touches, so it's a touchdown. That's right.
In.
Exact, same formation, same move, but the difference was the inside receiver, very physical, allowed Andre Johnson to come underneath untouched.
Touchdown confirmed. How about Andre Johnson? He had 7 catches through the first 4 games total. He's got 6 tonight in his return game for 77 yards and 2 touchdowns. His first 2 as a member of the Colts. And the extra point by Vinatieri is true. And the lead is back up to 10. A drive that lasted 8 minutes and 35 seconds ends with a touchdown to Johnson. Matt Hasselbeck directs the Colts down the field, throws his 2nd touchdown of the night, and to really put a hurt here on the Houston fans.
Tonight's game.
Andrew Luck loves what he's seeing back here in his old hometown. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Lowe's. Hurry in this weekend for great fall savings. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance, and by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Now, can Hoyer and his Texans offense excite the crowd here at NRG Stadium? Down 10 with 10.5 to play. Now, they scored the most points in the 4th quarter in the league this year, but mainly that's because they've had huge deficits. So a little bit misleading. That's a completion over to Foster, who is able to break out of 2 tackles. And now trying to swing around Davis, who throws him down at the 47. He got away from Lowry on 1 hit, Nate Irving on another.
Coming from the right side of the screen, we saw it early in the game. Arian Foster against the linebacker gets open. Not only that, breaks another tackle.
Yeah, picks up 32. He's got more yards receiving tonight than he does rushing. 53 to 42 on the ground.
Caught him in a blitz. Brian Hoyer right away knew he had the running back against the linebacker and took advantage of it.
And Hoyer across the middle. He'll take those 8 yards they gave him to Garrett Graham. Hoyer 17 now of 22 on the night. Boy, has he been brilliant.
He really has. Just the decision making has truly been perfect. And you look at the Colts defense, what do they miss? In years past, obvious passing situation. Robert Mathis, if he was completely healthy and full steam ahead, this would be a time for him to come in and help close the game out.
A run it on 2nd and 2, and backed up by David Perry.
How about David Perry? He's had a really good night inside Number 54 fights across the block.
Boy, when you said at the start of the game, he reminds you of your old teammate Jim Burt, I thought right on.
Oh,
perfect comparison.
He kind of looks like him. And the thing about him is when you watch him play, he plays inside. He gets underneath all the offensive linemen because they say he's 6'1". That might be stretching it, but strong, great hands, and very good against the run.
Hasselbeck and Luck over there huddling as Houston now goes for it, 3rd and 3. With the completion to Foster, he reached out with the football, and they're going to mark it past the necessary yardage. By the way, Sunday, doubleheader day here on CBS. Early, many are going to see the Rams against the Packers. And then late, the big one. New England coming off a bye at 3-0 will take on the Dallas Cowboys. We'll be there for that one. It's Blue. And Blue bursts ahead for 8, but we've got a flag in the Houston backfield.
Holding, offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. First down.
If Indianapolis goes on and wins this game, just think about it. They would have won 2 division games without Andrew Luck. And they bought themselves time. They'll have now, what, 10 days to go before they'll be hosting New England. And you know how intense that game's going to be.
Hey, look, there's no question. Just talking to Matt Hasselbeck, he even said he thought for sure Andrew Luck was going to play in this game tonight. So the fact that he's come out here and played so well gives him extra time to heal up. It's great for the team.
1st and 20. Hoyer escapes contact and dumps it off to Blue, who is hit by 3 different Indy players.
Really good pocket movement by Brian Hoyer. And I said it at halftime as we came back out. The one thing, you look at this offensive line, obvious passage situations, it seems like the whole game, and they've held up well.
So
10 in a row for Brian Hoyer. You just run it just to give him a break every once in a while. Let him catch his breath.
2nd and 11. 11 in a row. Foster, he was slipping and was never able to regain his footing before Toller makes the tackle.
You know, we're going to see, you know, I kind of talked about it a little this week. When you watch offenses down the NFL, it's so hard to get to the quarterback because the quick passing game, the formations, the throwers and catchers, and they do it so much. How many times can a pass rusher go after the quarterback?
That last little play didn't go for much, but it did get them in field goal range. They're down 2 scores. So from here it would be about 49 yards for Novak if they don't complete this one. And they're going for the big ball, and it's over the head to an open DeAndre Hopkins.
He got hit, I think, by Eric Walden on that play. DeAndre Hopkins had it. And I think if Hoyer just gets about a half a beat more, no, he had time. The hit came after the throw. Watch Hopkins, little fake stutter, goes outside. That was one thing that we were told by the Texans, that they would have some double moves to use against those corners. There was one that could have been a touchdown.
All right, this kick is essential for the Texans' cause. 49 yards for Novak. And Novak's kick is good. Brings him within 1 score at 27-20. Six minutes to go in Houston. All right, the Texans managed at least a field goal out of that last one. And Novak cashes in from 49 yards out. Kick to the back of the end zone, not going to be returned. Plenty of leg on that one for Novak, and nice reaction by the kicker. As for the coach, Could O'Brien even watch? He couldn't.
He couldn't watch. I know. That's great.
You can look now, Coach.
Yep, he's listening to the crowd. They roared, so he goes, okay, he made it. Well, he knows if you miss that, you needed 2 possessions 6 minutes ago.
Would have been a killer.
It'd be tough to overcome.
This is a time when J.J. Watt needs to make the play as Hilton has a gain of 8. Hey, again, next week, your weekend starts here. The Falcons, undefeated on the year. They're going to take on the Saints down in New Orleans. Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network.
Well, what a drive starter for the coach right there. It's a running play. Hasselbeck looks outside. Jonathan Joseph is way off the receiver, and he takes an easy 8 yards.
Second and 3. It's Gore. Through a pile of people, he's able to pick up 4 and a first.
Boy, inside tonight, you've got to look at Hugh Thornton, Holmes, and Mewhart. The center and 2 guards, they have been outstanding. They're in there against, this is Vince Wilfork. I know, number 75. He's been in the league a lot of years, but he can still stand his ground as good as anybody.
And I'm impressed by the way Gore's running. There were a lot of people were saying, why would they go out and get a back with that much wear and tear? But you talk to this team. We talked to Andrew Luck about it. Boy, did he have high praise. He said he's a great teammate, just a good dude, great to be in the huddle with. He's been the best I've ever played with, and here he goes. This time stacked up for only 1. He's got 93 yards on the night, including a touchdown. This Colts team tonight, everyone who has scored, every point scored by the Colts is by someone of 32 years of age or older.
Well, you know, I can't say that I was like during the offseason going, oh, getting Frank Gore and Andre Johnson, those are great pickups for the football team. Because I know age sometimes takes it away from the skilled players. But tonight, their best nights of the year.
Oldest team in the league is Indianapolis. 2nd and 8. Pass it back. He was able to get away from a little pressure from Watt, and it's over to Doyle for another first.
Wow, what a job, what composure by the quarterback, and what blocking by the offensive line.
And Elgin man downfield. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
You were just talking about Thornton, and he left a little early.
Left a little early. I guess he thought Matt Hasselbeck was going to end up running the football. But again, what movement in the pocket. What a good job. 69. Let's watch him. Yep, you're allowed, I think the rule would be, you're allowed to go 1 yard down the field when the football's in the air. Then you can, of course, keep going from there. That was close. He was about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Under 4 minutes remaining in a 2nd and 13.
That was maybe a game-winning play that was taken off.
Hasselbeck down the field to Hilton and incomplete. Jonathan Joseph, who was dinged a little earlier in this quarter, back out there.
Good job by Jonathan Joseph. Situation like this, you can't give up easy throws. You know, you give up an easy throw, they pick up a first down, then the clock is going to become a huge enemy to your football team. Now, know the situation on defense and play accordingly.
Got to get to the 41 for a first. Incomplete. Trying to get it in the hands of Tipton. And the Texans are going to get the football back.
Tremendous call. They really had it set up. But what was going to happen even if they hit it? Watch number 51. Simon sees it, turns, and even if it's completed, he's going to chase it down from behind. That's what you want to do to screens. React to it and run it down from behind. Simon all over it.
Mumphrey, the return man, stands at the 20. This one can be returned. Mumphrey going to try to go to the far side, and now cuts back middle and spins from some tacklers, and that's a nice return out to about the 37. Brian Hoyer ready to take the field, try to drive him down for a tying score. NFL Thursday Night Football sponsored by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side, and by Cialis. Little skate park just off downtown here in the city of Houston. And now the Texans are going to take over at the 36. Hoyer with the hot hand since replacing Mallett in the second quarter. Fakes, freezes, and finds an open Hopkins, who steps out of bounds, and that drew a flag at the end. Hopkins was making an appeal for a little excessive contact.
Could be taunting.
Maybe it was, yeah, maybe it was taunting.
Really good play, too, by the Texans.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 10, throwing the ball on opponent. 15-yard penalty. It will be 1st and 10 after enforcement.
Did you see that, Mike Carey?
I was taunting all the way. As soon as he went out of bounds, he was pulled a little bit, but then he threw the ball at the defender. It's really not a great concentration play.
Well, look at Bill O'Brien. It happened right in front of the head coach. Why did you do that? 13 penalties on Houston tonight. Foster trying to get it all back. He's got a first down.
Well, they're making it look easy. The only thing that's really stopped either offense, it seems like tonight, is penalties. That's what stops the drives.
Only 125 yards worth.
Is that all?
That's it.
But the protection, they're not open anymore for the Houston Texans. They're wide open.
Hoyer has a 300-yard game now. 22 of 28, 304 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
And the defense for Indianapolis, 5 quarters last week, basically against Jacksonville, they are out. You can just not enough energy.
Again, we'll go underneath to Mumphrey. And that's another gain of 4.
You know, that time they changed it up. There came a blitz. Brian Hoyer, you know what happens to a quarterback? You know, he's got in there. He's had success. He's got rhythm. He's seeing everything perfectly.
The last 300-yard passer by a guy coming off the bench, Chad Henne.
I remember that game.
For Jacksonville against Houston 3 years ago. 2nd and 5. It's Foster. He's walloped by Jackson, who hit him in that first half and knocked him out. And they are still jawing. It's going to be 3rd and about 2. We remind you that coming up after the game, the Mazda post-game show, interviews and analysis of all of tonight's action. Now they're going to try to, they don't have to run a play before the 2-minute warning. Yep, and they're going to wait.
Yep, good job. Settle down, get a chance to think about it. 3rd and 2, big play, of course.
There was a negative reaction in the building when the Texans did not run a play before the 2-minute warning, but that was the right thing to do.
Absolutely. You know, one, because of the situation, it's 3rd and 2, but you have plenty of time. 2 minutes, 3 timeouts. Make sure you get the right calls. And, of course, you'd love to score this touchdown and not give the Colts a chance to go down and maybe kick a game-winning field goal.
So 3rd and 2 it is with Hoyer. looking everywhere. Pressure coming, and he unloads it down the field, and it's intercepted. Right in the arms of Mike Adams. His second interception of the game, and a flag is out. Well, after the pick. They've been lacking pressure all night on the quarterback, but this time Eric Walden influenced that throw.
It was all about the pass coverage. The protection, Jim, was outstanding.
Yep.
And the coverage all across the field, there was nobody even remotely open as I was watching it. They had crossers. The Indianapolis Colts were all over it, and Brian Hoyer.
There's no foul for an illegal block in the back during their turn. First down, Indianapolis.
Well, he did have his time, but once eventually it had to break down, and once there was pressure, it produced the only ugly throw of the night by Hoyer.
Watch them as they cross the field. We got crossers. Everybody, you tell me where you can throw it. That is all night long. They have struggled covering receivers down the field. And of course, the one place you never want to throw the football away is down the middle of the field.
This game is not over, as the Texans have 3 timeouts.
3 timeouts.
As we found out just last Thursday night. It's Gore. Give him 1. Timeout, Houston. And again, the Mazda post-game show comes up after this one. Interviews and analysis of tonight's game.
I will just say this to the Texans defense. You still have 2 timeouts. The way this game is being called by Pep Hamilton and this Indianapolis offense, it would not surprise me to see a play action pass, him roll out, and of course, Hasselbeck is going to know what to do, Jim. If it's not there, he's going to hold on to the football. You know, he's not going to stop the clock, but if it's wide open, he'll take the throw.
Do you need to do that here on 2nd down, or are you talking about a 3rd down
Oh,
call?
if you're going to do it now.
Okay.
You know, you do it now to catch the defense somewhat by surprise. 3rd down, you're not going to fool them with a play action fake or any misdirection.
It's Gore for 2 more, and again, that's going to take away one of the Houston timeouts, leaving the Texans with 1.
You know, I was pretty sure I was going to be right there because all night the play calling has just been a step ahead of the defense. They've kept them off guard all night long. That's why I thought, man, that's the time, because you get defensive players in situations like this, they usually over pursue, trying to make that play to help their football team.
It's going to be a 3rd and 6 coming up.
And here, no matter what you do, the main thing for the Colts offense to make sure you make Houston use their last timeout.
Calling on 99. Meanwhile, Frank Gore is at 98 yards rushing. He might get the call here again. Nope, they're going up top. And they're going down the field, trying to ice it. Hilton has it. And he beats Kareem Jackson. And that basically closes out the game.
There's 10 things they could have done on offense. I would have never guessed that's what they were going to do. What a throw by Hasselbeck and T.Y. Hilton. Nice stutter go on the outside. And look, he keeps his eye on the football and just never slows down. And once again, what a throw, right on target.
A 43-yard pass play with 1.5 minutes to go. And now the Colts will have a chance just to kneel it and run it out.
Well, this is going to be a victory. This is going to be as excited as this Colts team has been in a while to win a game like this under the circumstances, coming down here playing a desperate Houston Texans team.
Houston did call its last time out after the completion. Can't stop it again. The Colts are going to win in the division for an all-time NFL record 16th consecutive time.
You know, and you look going forward, I think Brian Hoyer is going to be the quarterback even after that big mistake. They're going to go with him now. Switching back, this could go on all year long. But I think you got to look at it this way, Jim. On the defensive side for the Houston Texans, if J.J. Watt is not making the plays, Jadeveon Clowney makes some plays, where else do you look to? They're just not making the plays to get the opponent's offense off the field.
Well, the Texans have dug themselves in a very deep hole, coming off 9-7. They're going to drop to 1-4. They've lost at home to the team that has ruled this division for so long. And meanwhile, the Colts are going to improve to 3-2. And all 3 of their wins have come against division opponents, including 2 of those on the road. One more snap, and the Colts without Andrew Luck, led by Matt Hasselbeck.
Great game plan, Jim.
And his older brigade tonight. They get the road victory here in Houston.
There you go.
Oh, what a sweet night it is for Andre Johnson. Two touchdowns on the night for Johnson. You got to think the shoulder injury, if he was close to playing this week, that given 10, 11 days from now, he'll be ready to go against New England.
Yeah, I would think so. But what a job by Matt Hasselbeck coming in, 2 games, winning them, and look, 3-0 in the division now for the Indianapolis Colts.
They win tonight, even though the Texans put up 444 yards of offense. You don't see that every day. Hoyer throws for 312, but gets picked in the last couple of minutes. Hasselbeck under the weather, but what a performance by Matt tonight. Hasselbeck, 213 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. They did not turn the football over once. Fighting a virus, Hasselbeck, basically no practice on a short week. He could still play at a very high level, no question.
I'm telling you, I talked to him personally, and I just said there is no way he's going to make it through this game, because the way he felt, you know, when you get out there, Jim, the heat, the adrenaline, everything that gets going, I just thought that would sap his energy, but all night long, he was absolutely magnificent.
Matt Hasselbeck, for his 40th birthday, he didn't want any gifts. He wanted to raise $40,000 to build a water well for the impoverished in a region of Africa. That was his goal. He went online. He's still raising money for that, trying to do something good on an occasion that was there to celebrate Matt Hasselbeck. But the Colts, they go to a quarterback. They go to the well, if you will, these last 2 games.
You know,
he had not
it shows
started
you
a game since 2012, and he's 2-0.
Having a quality backup protects your football team. Give the Colts a lot of credit.
Let's go over to Tracy.
Thanks a lot. Matt, you told me before the game, just feeling so miserable. How difficult was it playing through this illness tonight?
You know what, it wasn't as hard as I thought before the game. I honestly thought I didn't know if I could make it through, and for some unknown reason, I was able to finish. I can't explain it. It was amazing.
Where do the tears come from right now?
I got nothing left, probably. I just, I don't know. It's been an emotional day.
Well, you come in and you hold down the fort in these 2 games, huge division games. How much confidence does it give you and give this team going forward now, heading into the Patriots a week from Sunday?
Yeah, I didn't even know that till we played next week. You know, we were just, this is always a tough game for us. This is a good team. We're just trying to find a rhythm as a team and as an offense. And, you know, Chuck said it before the game. It's going to take all you got, 1 play at a time, 60 minutes. Don't judge at any point in this game. And they got some momentum before half with the Hail Mary. And our team came out and answered. And it just, it's fun. It's just really fun playing with these guys. It's a great group of guys.
I'm sure it was one heck of a pregame speech. Congratulations. Feel good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.